evening, good evening. Come, sit, Alka, sit. Oh, your self-appraisal form. Yeah, I have, I've received a soft copy of this when I sent it a few days back, and I've gone through it. And I've seen your ratings. And more or less, I agree with what you have put in. And I'll put my ratings later on. But you tell me what you feel about your self-appraisal.
I'm sorry, Pa. I know I fell short of 2.5 million that we had agreed upon.
I also feel sorry about that. But I don't think we have the same reasons. I feel sorry because I sincerely feel that this year, you and your team could have achieved that 2.5 instead of 2.45 if you had put in half the effort that you had put in during the last 6 months and which you are putting in now. You would have hit that target.
I realize that.
That's good. Taking responsibility without offering excuses, I like that, Aditya. And I think that's a quality you should develop in future.
I will, Pa.
Well, you know what? I thought it would be better for your future if I could take you through some of the key points that the senior management team looks from you, for the overall growth of the company.
That will surely help me in the future, Pa.
Good. In that case, if you look at this, Aditya, you guys always hate the idea of normalization. Why should I be normalized? But if you look at this, all the global leaders, they use this process of normalization. You name it, you have got it over here. Microsoft, Pepsi, Coke, Hilton, Heinz, Nokia, Unilever. It is fair and it is an accepted practice. And I think you should understand this concept and accept it because it's going to stand you in good stead.
I understand that.
And that's good. And, all these companies, this normalization process, what it does, it takes the KRAs and KPIs and the competency areas, they're all measured simultaneously. Talent is looked on as a function of past performance and future potential. It's a very, very fair practice. It's not to victimize anyone. Do you get it?
Yes, sir. I understand, Pa.
Great. So let me get on to the next point, and that is Paris. Do you remember, Aditya, that we talked about Paris Performance Improvement System when we were talking about goal setting? We had that meeting.
I do. Pa.
Now, what does Paris do? Paris helps in setting the goals. Paris helps in appraising performance and monitoring performance as a continuous process. Paris helps in deciding on the rewards that should be given out. It takes us through performance and competency rating right up to personal development planning. What we should do for you in future to make you a more valued asset to the company. That is what Paris does.
Clear, Pa.
Good. In that case, let me move in to what kind of competencies the senior management team looks from a general manager like you, Aditya. Like, we look for drive for results from you. We look for customer focus. We look for executing excellence. We look for analytical skills. And if you want me to be honest, I'll tell you this, that I sincerely feel that you really have good competence in most of these areas. But again, to be honest, where I feel you lack a bit is on people development. And that is why you're getting hit, Aditya, because you are not carrying your team with you. And that is why we have decided that this year, we are identifying one of the best team building training courses for you, and we'll be sending you there. We'll be sponsoring you, and HR will get in touch with you shortly on that.
I sincerely appreciate your interest in my development, Pa.
Thanks, Aditya. Let me go forward. Let me tell you how our potentials are actually assessed. Now, if you look over here, we look at various, competency levels of say, a general manager, right? Productivity, cost-benefit analysis, role models, etc., etc., etc. And let me take an example. Say we feel that you should be competent in your behavior with your team members. Now, we rate that in a scale of 5. And if your behavior is much, much below expectation, Aditya, you get a rating of 1, which is very poor. And your behavior exceeds all expectation, you get a rating of 5. And in the middle part where it exceeds some expectation, doesn't exceed, you get a score of 3. And basically we look at 10 such competency areas and look at the overall score of all those areas to judge the potential of an employee to be either promoted or to be trained or to be retained at the same position, or maybe even asked to leave the company.
I get it, Pa.
But we believe that you have potentials to go much forward, I think.
I get it, Pa.
And finally, on the basis of the rating that one gets, the moderation committee, with the help of a tool called the bell curve, which you actually all hate, but which is actually a very useful tool, decides on which category each employee needs to be placed. And that category decides on whatever increments that you get, the bonuses that you get, and also whatever future plans, the development plans that the company has for you.
Quite an elaborate process, Pa.
It has to be, it is. Otherwise, how can we be fair to everyone?
Pa, thank you so much for taking the trouble to explain the process in such detail.
Aditya, I did it because I sincerely believe that you have got unexplored potential within you. To be very honest, as I told you before, I really appreciate the effort that you have put in the last 6 months and you're putting in now. Aditya, if you continue to do so, I feel it within me that this year may just turn out to be your year.
Thank you once again, Pa.
Go for your goals and make us all feel proud of you. But most importantly, make yourself feel proud. And when you do that, Aditya, you can be rest assured that I will be there on the finishing line cheering for you.
Good evening, Pa.
My reluctant champion. Good evening. Sit, Aditya, sit.
Thank you, Pa. But why reluctant?
Oh well, the champion doesn't just touch the mark, he shatters it. I asked for 2.6 against 2.5, which I had agreed upon. You did 2.62, Aditya. So that's shattering of the mark. So, champion.
Thank you so much, Pa. But why reluctant?
Just about a little more than 6 months back, I seem to recollect a young man not too keen on taking up the challenge which I had thrown at him. So, reluctant?
So you do remember our conversation which happened in the half-yearly review, don't you?
Of course I do, Aditya, of course I do. How can I forget? But honestly, great going, Aditya, great going. And because of this, apart from the increments and the bonuses that will come your way, we are recommending you for a promotion. But keep that to yourself for the time being.
Thank you so much, Pa.
And also, let me tell you, we are now looking at you, Aditya, as a potential leader, a serious contender to be a leader of the company in the future. And so HR is trying to identify a leadership training course for you, either in the US or the UK, for which the company will sponsor you. Saita, not all bosses are slave drivers, are they?
Don't embarrass me, Pa.
Let me also let you in another secret. HRD is not always human resources demolicious.
Pa, I'm sorry I had used some
Oh, no, Aditya, don't apologize. I like people who speak straight from the heart, provided, of course, they back up their talk with their performances, which you do.
Thank you so much, Pa. Thank you.
Go celebrate, Aditya. Celebrate. Enjoy this evening, or whatever is left of it. But keep up the fantastic work.
I will, Pa. Thank you.
Good.